everybody. We are members of Extinction Rebellion Sheffield, and we're here today to reaffirm our commitment to the Declaration of Rebellion that was made at the launch of Extinction Rebellion last year. So before we start, I'm just going to tell you a bit about us and what we're doing and why. So Extinction Rebellion is an international apolitical movement set up less than a year ago in the face of rapid and catastrophic global heating and the mass extinction of species, which is leading us down a path of environmental and social collapse. The movement was formally launched in Parliament Square on the 31st of October last year, with the first announcement of the Declaration of Rebellion. The organisers then had expected, maybe a couple of hundred people, but they got 1,500 turned up, eager to participate in peaceful civil disobedience. They had clearly tapped into widespread concerns about the climate emergency and the lack of will or outright denial of governments around the world to take significant action to avert a catastrophic future. The approach of peaceful civil disobedience has resonated with people's deeply felt need to take action and for community and solidarity. Since then, the movement has grown exponentially, with 6,000 people peacefully blocking 5 London bridges last November, and the International Rebellion last April, in which thousands of people occupied 5 sites in central London and also in many cities around the world. There are now Extinction Rebellion groups in 150 countries worldwide, all from a start less than a year ago. Following on from these actions, public awareness and concern about global heating has increased dramatically. The government has declared a climate emergency and has set a target for achieving net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Sounds good, maybe, but this is far too late to avert disastrous and irreversible climate change, which will inevitably lead to the collapse of human civilization as we know it today. The need for action is ever more urgent as the months go by, and that is why we in Extinction Rebellion are preparing for an even bigger international uprising in October. In anticipation of this, Extinction Rebellion groups in over 130 towns and cities in the UK are publicly reaffirming our commitment to the Declaration of Rebellion issued last October, which will now be read aloud by 2 of our members, and you can read it there.
Here are the words of John Locke. To love truth for truth's sake is the principal part of human perfection in this world and the seed plot of all other virtue. Declaration of Rebellion. We hold the following to be true. This is our darkest hour. Humanity finds itself embroiled in an event unprecedented in its history, one which, unless immediately addressed, will catapult us further into the destruction of all we hold dear. This nation, its peoples, our ecosystems, and the future of generations to come.
The science is clear. We are in a sixth mass extinction event, and we will face catastrophe if we do not act swiftly and robustly. Biodiversity is being annihilated around the world. Our seas are and rising. Flooding and desertification will render vast tracts of land uninhabitable and lead to mass migration.
Our air is so toxic, the United Kingdom is breaking the law. It harms the unborn while causing tens of thousands to die. The breakdown of our climate has begun. There will be more wildfires, unpredictable superstorms, increasing famine, and untold drought as food supplies and fresh water disappear.
The ecological crises that are impacting upon this nation, and indeed this planet and its wildlife, can no longer be ignored, denied, nor go unanswered by any beings of sound, rational thought, ethical conscience, moral concern, or spiritual belief. In accordance with these values, the virtues of truth, and the weight of scientific evidence, we declare it is our duty to act on behalf of the security and well-being of our children, our communities, and the future of the planet itself.
We, in alignment with our consciences and our reasoning, declare ourselves in rebellion against our government and the corrupted, inept institutions that threaten our future. The willful complicity displayed by our government has shattered meaningful democracy and cast aside the common interest in favour of short-term gain and private profit.
When government and the law fail to provide any assurance of adequate protection, as well as security for its people's well-being and the nation's future, it becomes the right of its citizens to seek redress in order to restore dutiful democracy and to secure the solutions needed to avert catastrophe and protect the future. It becomes not only our right, it becomes our sacred duty to rebel.
We hereby declare the bonds of the social contract to be null and void. The government has rendered them invalid by its continuing failure to act appropriately. We call upon every principled and peaceful citizen to rise with us. We demand to be heard, to apply informed solutions to those ecological crises, and to create a national assembly by which to initiate those solutions needed to change our present cataclysmic course. We refuse to bequeath a dying planet to the future generations by acting to act now. We act in peace with ferocious love of these lands in our hearts. We act on behalf of life.
Thank you, Rowan Lavinia. We're now going to ask 5 of our members to sign this copy of the declaration before we symbolically pin it to the walls of the town hall. So can I have a pen? And we will sign yes, will sign the declaration on our behalf. Will you take it out? Thank you. So we'll have a brief pause while that happens. On the front. On the front. And while we're waiting for that to happen, I'd like to invite everybody here to join Extinction Rebellion if you're not already a member, and to come to our meetings and actions in Sheffield, to join the Earth Strike organised by the school students next Friday, and to come down to London for the October Rebellion, which is something that will surely go down in history as a seminal event in the campaign against climate change.
To your right or to your left? Anyone
Our
else?
children's future depends on it. We have a stall somewhere. Where's the stall? Over there. And lots of leaflets. So if you want to find out more about us and our activities, or to join up, you can find it out at the stall. And now, how many have we got?
Have the signature.
Okay, that'll be enough. And so Bing and Lavinia will ceremonially pin it to our town hall. We can do it. Well, where I thought was over here. Over here.
Let the cameras in, let the cameras in.
So let the cameras in.
Get behind. Symbolically hammer it, go on. By the hammer.
Nail to the front, to the facade.